اليوثد مار امانويل سقطت مار ايثا مار اوراهم مار سرهد اركيدياقون وكون ابسقوبو وكهنه بريخه وشماشه وربنياثو وعم بريخه. Congratulations to Kullan. My soul magnifies the Lord, Our Lady says, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. These are not two independent things. One follows from the other. You rejoice in God if you're being honest, if it's not a fake joy, if you're not pretending to enjoy prayer, which is an easy thing to do, and something that people will praise you for if you pretend that you're close to God. But if you really want to rejoice in God your Savior, that's a consequence of your soul magnifying the Lord. Mary is speaking as the perfect Christian, as the model of Christianity. Her soul magnifies the Lord, and because of that, her spirit rejoices. The deepest part of her rejoices in God, her Savior. So it's worth thinking about what it means that her soul magnifies the Lord. What it doesn't mean is that Mary makes God bigger. Even though that's what the word magnify can mean, God can't get bigger than he is. She's not making God more than he is in his being. She's magnifying him the way a magnifying glass magnifies. The way glasses make something larger to the one who's looking. That means she and we magnify the Lord in relation to an observer. She's magnifying the Lord for us when we look at her. We're magnifying the Lord because there are people looking for God. That means there are people that don't see God, they don't know him, and they're looking for him. And we can magnify him, or we can obscure him. We can be a good lens, a clear one that's polished, one that's not scratched, where people look, and they'll look at us, and through us they'll see God. Or, if we are dirty, just imagine a lens that's caked with mud, they'll be looking for God, and they will not find him, and it will be our fault. That's what it is to be a lens that is obscuring rather than magnifying. And if we are a lens that's caked with mud, that's dirty, that's scratched up, or that's not pointed at God, we will not rejoice. Our spirit will not rejoice in God, because he will not be our Savior either. What does it mean to be a dirty lens? It means to be living in sin. And if we who are baptized are living a life of sin, when people see us, they will see sin. When they look at us, we will not be pointing at God. Their sight will either stop at us, or they'll see through us to the thing that we really worship. Maybe it's money, maybe it's something else, maybe it's honor. But they won't see God. And again, and I'm going to repeat this because it's worth saying, they will not find God, and it will be our fault. And they are looking. So to live the Christian life means to live not in sin. What's the opposite of sin? Love. Because when we live a life of love, we are revealing God, because God is love. And if we are living in love and revealing God, that means we become invisible. You don't see, a lot of you are wearing glasses. Some of you are probably wearing contact lenses. You don't see your glass lens or your contact lens when it's doing its job. And nobody will notice you when you're doing your job as a Christian, because they'll see right through you and they'll see the love of God. A consecrated vocation, a vocation that's dedicated, means you're doing that full time. And Deacon Chris, where is he? Deacon Chris is taking the first step. You see there's 3 steps here. He's taking the first step towards the priesthood, a fully consecrated life, a life that belongs only to God, that doesn't point at anything else. The sisters that we have with us, and some of them are renewing their vows tomorrow, so we can pray for them, they're living that life as well. And when, not if, Chris, in his ministry, in his priesthood, when the sisters and when any of us, in fulfilling our Christian vocation, are ignored and forgotten, that means we're doing our job. We fail when God is forgotten. We succeed when only God is noticed. We have a very interesting, vibrant, challenging diocese. The whole Western United States, our parishes are not close to each other. We have now another one in Alcohol, thank God. But the majority of our parishes, you have to get on an airplane to get to, or sit in a car for a long time. That's a big challenge. We have parishes that have all kinds of different compositions of people that need different languages, different ministries, old and young. It's a big challenge to serve in this diocese. But it's extremely fulfilling. It stretches your heart in a way that first hurts and then you don't know how you lived without it. And so Sayyidina asked me to speak on vocations as an invitation to more and more young people, and we have many, many priests that have been ordained in our diocese, an invitation for all of you young people and for many more to consider it with real seriousness, being a magnifier for God full-time, dedicating your life entirely to Him, because people are looking for Him, and they deserve and they need Him to be magnified.